For as long as I've been making videos about my dumb Mario Party bots, you guys have been leaving a ton of comments with your very own bot ideas. So I went ahead and picked 8 of my favorites to put to the test. Today, your bots will be facing off in a head-to-head tournament to find out which one is the best. For each matchup, we'll spin a wheel to pick a random minigame, and whoever survives longer or finishes with a higher score will earn a point. Whoever has more points after 5 games wins and advances to the next round. So without further ado, let's meet our first 2 bots. Spingy spins the stick in circles endlessly versus Koopami, a Koopa who only enters the Konami code over and over. All right, let's spin the wheel and see what our first minigame will be. Ooh, this should be a pretty quick one, but the question is, who will hit the electrical wall first? It's looking like Koopami. Oh, I think we need to remove the start button from the Konami code. Okay, Koopami no longer has the ability to rage quit, and as a result, he is the first one to go down. Next, we've got Camera Ready. Koopami is precisely lining up his shot, and that is nowhere close to being the right spot. Spingy, meanwhile, is trying to make me dizzy over here. Yeah, this one's a tie. All right, Hot Hot Hop. Now, I know this one looks scary, but it's important not to panic. Okay, maybe Koopami should have actually panicked a little bit more. All right, what do we got next? Domination. Now, at first glance, it may appear as if Spingy is doing nothing here, but I can assure you he is spinning up a storm in his mind right now. But yeah, Koopami's gonna take this one with an impressive score of 2. Koopami will still have to win this one to force a tiebreaker though, but it doesn't look like either of these bots have any interest in snagging any flags. So I guess Spingy will be the one advancing. Unless there's a hidden secret in the game where if you input the Konami code 20 times in a row, you automatically win. Okay, yeah, Spingy wins this round. For our next matchup, we've got Rosalina, a bot that only moves in straight lines, versus Spy Guy, picks another character and mimics their exact same inputs. All right, let's spin the wheel, and that is a very fitting first minigame. Okay, Rosalina starting out by going straight to the right away from the spikes, but Spy Guy is using her head for some extra height, and that is enough to secure the first win. Next up, we've got a coin minigame, so let's see who can collect the most. Rosalina going straight to the right again at the start of this one. Spy Guy is, as you would expect, a step behind, but I gotta give him some credit. Even though this strategy is not working in the slightest, he is sticking with it for the entire game. But yeah, Rosalina ties it up. Ooh, okay, Platform Peril. I don't have high hopes for this one, but maybe if they can both take the perfect line, they can... All right, Slumber Tumble. Now, hopefully they've improved their sense of direction for this one. Okay, it looks like Rosalina was the one copying Spy Guy that time, but hey, it worked out for her, so... Spy Guy will have to win this next minigame to stay alive. Let's see how good they are at answering quiz questions. Oh, okay, never mind. Spy Guy has resorted to, kidnapping. He has captured Rosalina and he is attempting to escape with her. This is definitely an interesting strategy, but unfortunately that will not earn him any points, which means that Rosalina will be advancing to round 2. For our next matchup, we've got a special one between Raycon and a banana. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Now, I'm excited for this one because on one hand, we've got Raycon's super comfortable bone conduction headphones. And on the other hand, we've got this 20-cent banana I just got from the grocery store. Raycon's bone conduction headphones use off-ear audio, so they literally send sound vibrations through your bones. is, no matter how hard I try, this banana will never be inside of my bones. With these headphones, I'm able to do chores and listen to my music or videos with crystal clear audio while simultaneously staying aware of my surroundings in case anyone tries to sneak up on me. They're built for all day use too, with 13 hours of battery life and a comfortable fit that doesn't slip when moving around. Meanwhile, I can't get this banana to stay in my ear for more than 1 second. Really, the only thing this banana's got going for it is that I can eat it. Please do not try eating your Raycons. But overall, I'd say that's definitely a win for Raycon. So make sure to click the link in the description and pin comment, or go to buyraycon.com/jortsbc to get 20% off site-wide. Thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Now back to Mario Party. All right, moving on to our next matchup, we've got the opposite of Luigi doing nothing, which of course is Mario doing everything. A bot that constantly presses every button at once. And he will be facing off against Rashruji, a Frankenstein mashup of my 3 dumb bots. Randy, who only knows how to do completely random inputs, Mashroom, who only mashes ridiculously fast, and Luigi, who does absolutely nothing. Rashruji will cycle through these 3 bots, taking their form one at a time for a few seconds each before moving on to the next. And it looks like we've got Stamp Out to showcase their abilities. All right, Rashruji is starting out as Randy. Mario, meanwhile, appears to be stuck in a small area as a result of pressing everything, but that is not a problem for Rashruji in Mashroom mode, turning on the turbo jets. For some reason though, the CPUs seem to have it out for Rashruji, who's just accepting it in his Luigi doing nothing form. All right, this is actually a close one. Let's see who won. Ooh, okay, light wave battle. This will be interesting. If Rashruji can just survive during his Randy form, Mashroom might be able to come in and save him. And there it is, but just a bit too late. So doing everything is slightly better in this one. So far, Mashroom appears to be the strongest form for Rashruji, but let's see how that plays out in Sandwiched. Luckily for him, Randy does not like sandwiches, which allows him to outlast Mario doing everything in this one. The Luigi doing nothing form of Rashruji hasn't really gotten a time to shine yet. Maybe he finally will in Treasure Divers. Okay, I don't know if I would call this shining, but hey, at least he's not doing whatever Mario is doing over there. Anyways, this one's a tie, which means that Mario doing everything will have to win this next game to stay alive. Unfortunately for Mario, he's not allowed to choose every key and every gate at the same time, so that may work against him here. Luckily though, he is going against 3 of the dumbest bots of all time combined into one, so he'll have plenty of chances to choose the correct option. Okay, well, in what is possibly the least eventful minigame of all time, it looks like we're gonna have another tie, which is enough to advance Rashruji into the next round. And for our final first round matchup, we've got Absidy, a bot that presses every button in alphabetical order repeatedly, as in A, then B, then down, down left, down right, etc. And her opponent is the Odie input bot. What's an Odie, you might be asking? Well, that'd be this guy right here. For this bot, we're gonna let Odie create a sequence of inputs using a very precise scientific method. Also, since this comment was left before we adopted 2 new kittens, Penelope and Finnick, I'm gonna let them participate as well. And with all of their coding skills combined, here are the results of their hard work. Now, immediately you may notice a lot of letters and numbers that don't directly correspond to controller buttons like K, P, and but after randomly converting each of these to actual buttons and stick directions, then cutting down some long strings of duplicates, we're left with this. Finally, since this bot is now 3 cats combined into one, I'm gonna call him Meowser. All right, let's get into it now with 3 Throw. This minigame is an important reminder that just because you know the alphabet, it doesn't automatically make you a good basketball player. On the flip side, just because you're a cat, it doesn't mean you can't drain buckets. Ooh, okay, Granite Getaway. Now you guys are gonna have to trust me on this one. I would never ever put my cats in a situation like this. But regardless, that's another win for Meowser. Absidy is in a bit of a hole here. Let's see if the alphabet can help her in Thwomp the Difference. Right away, she and Meowser are going for different choices here. Very bold considering neither of them have enough information to know the correct answer. Then again, maybe my cats have actually been psychic this entire time. Okay, turns out my cats are actually cracked at Mario Party. And with that, it's time for round 2. For our first matchup, we've got Spingy versus Rosalina. So let's find out once and for all whether circles or straight lines are better. Starting with Cold Front. Whoa, Rosalina immediately charging straight towards Spingy, trying to push him off, but nothing will ever stop Spingy from spinning. Oh. Let's see if Spingy can spin his way out of being squished by a sandwich though. Rosalina making a beeline straight to the corner right away. Let's see if that strategy works for her. Okay, looks like it did. All right, Scarousel time. Spingy already played this one in the first round, so he does have a bit of an edge in experience here. Let's see if he can take advantage. Yep, okay, Rosalina just wanted to be electrocuted, I guess. Oh, okay, but now we've got one that Rosalina has played before, and it has the word line in it, so surely this should be heavily in her favor. She's playing it smart again, heading to the left and staying as far away from the spikes as possible. Spingy, meanwhile, is getting bounced around all over the place, and yep, that is a victory for Rosalina. Which means whoever wins this final minigame will be the first character to advance to the finals. Here we go. All right, clearly Spingy is not used to being inside of an ice skate, but Rosalina is taking some great lines and collecting coins no problem. Spingy's still trying his best over here to make a circle, but he's actually starting to catch up. This is super close all of a sudden. Breaks the snow pile for the red coin. Wait a second, it may not have been the prettiest circle, but Spingy will be spinning his way straight to the final round. Now let's see who Spingy will be facing off against between Rashruji and Meowser. And we're kicking it off with Big Top Quiz. If Rashruji wants to win this one, he's gonna have to harness Randy's spirit and point him towards the answers down here. Okay, not quite. Meowser though actually managed to select one, but based on the CPU's choices, I'm guessing it's most likely the wrong answer. Never mind, my cats are literally better than the Mario Party CPUs. Unfortunately for Rashruji, it appears that swapping between random inputs, mashing, and doing nothing is not a good combo for this game. Ooh, okay, 3-throw. Meowser did have this one in the last round, so you would think you would have the advantage here. But Rashruji has the benefit of being one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Exactly 1/3 of the time, but the spirit of Lamashram James is more than enough to win this one easily. All right, light wave battle. The big question here is if Rashruji can just survive long enough for Mashram to take over. Luckily for him, everyone seems to be tired after one jump. And there he is, look at him go. Yeah, Meowser didn't stand a chance in this one. You know, it's starting to become pretty clear that one of the 3 forms is a bit more useful than the other 2. I'm not gonna say which one, but all right, Meowser will need to win this one to stay alive. And unfortunately for my cats, unless they suddenly learn how to move while spamming A like Mashram over here, it looks like this is gonna be the end of the line for them. And with that, Rashruji is advancing to the finals to face off against Spingy. Okay, so for the finals, we're gonna mix it up a little bit. Instead of spinning the random wheel of minigames, Spingy and Rashruji will be facing off in 4 dual minigames. Then if we're still tied after those, we'll do one final tiebreaker game. So let's find out which of your bot suggestions is the best and kick it off with Slappy Go Round. It looks like Rashruji must have snuck in some super glue because Spingy is not able to spin here. That's definitely going to make it tough for him to win this one. But, you know, gluing your opponent's feet to the ground is technically not against the rules. So well played by Rashruji. Over to all the marbles, where thankfully Spingy's feet have been unglued, but unfortunately for his odds of winning, he seems very content staying away from the marbles. Meanwhile, Rashruji is trying to punch the marbles. Not sure what's going on there, but that is not the objective. So this one's a tie. Surely bowling won't end in a tie though. Spingy is a bit limited in his spinning capabilities again here, so he has no choice but to stay in the middle area. Rashruji does have a choice to move somewhere else, but it looks like he's too busy doing, whatever he's doing. Okay, so it does look like after all of that, they are both releasing the boulder from the same exact spot. And yeah. Good effort, you guys. On to our final duel minigame now. Spingy will have to win this one if he wants to force a tiebreaker. Once again, though, he's not really able to utilize his full spinning capabilities, keeping him stuck in this lower section here. Rashruji will need to rely on Randy for this one if he wants to finish higher up than Spingy. Ooh, this is actually really close. It's gonna come down to which form Rashruji ends on. Oh, okay, it's Luigi doing nothing. Which means Spingy has indeed forced a tiebreaker. All right, it's all gonna come down to this. Who is the best YouTube comment bot suggestion? Let's settle this once and for all with Junior's Gauntlet, the perfect gauntlet of minigames to really showcase their abilities. Spingy can finally spread his wings and spin to his heart's content, while Rashruji can continue working through his split personality disorder. Now, that being said, we will need one of you guys to actually, you know, follow the instructions of at least one of these challenges. As fun as it looks getting attacked and blown up over and over, you're actually supposed to be dodging all of these in order to earn points. Wait a second, Spingy actually survives a round, giving him a commanding lead. It's all gonna come down to this final 3-point round. Rashruji will need to survive and will also need Spingy to get eliminated. Oh, okay, that part didn't take long. Now the question is, can Rashruji avoid getting hit by Bowser Jr. for the entire duration of this timer? He's managed to outlast everyone else. Just a few seconds to go, and that will do it. The winner of the first ever YouTube comment Mario Party bot suggestion tournament is Spingy. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoy these videos and leave me more of your bot ideas in the comments. All right, I'll catch you in the next one.